Hi everyone, it's Donna here, and I'm just coming on to show you the latest journal that I just completed. This one is a soft cover, soft flexible fabric cover, and I made it with one of the swatches from that fabric sample, one of the fabric sample books that I took apart and some of you own pages from. One of the ones that I kept for myself. It is a nature-themed journal, and the label, the fabric label that I put up here has nature stamped on it, and I did some slow stitching around it. This one measures 6 inches by 9 inches. It is a single signature, and it's got laces coming off all over it. On the cover is part of a page from a Edith Holden book. The closure is either mother of pearl. I think this one might be abalone. Big beautiful button. There's a little butterfly charm with some vintage lace over here, and there's the nature with some slow stitching. It has 68 pages front and back, and the enclosure is just a piece of muslin tied that can be adjusted, and it just slips over the button. And then let's see, there's a piece of fabric, florally kind of fabric on the inside, a label to say what the journal is about. Scrapbooking paper here and some vintage lace. I've had this lace for a while and I keep passing over it, and I figured I actually cut this page a little bit too short, but I wanted to use it because it went so well with the fabric. So I put this fringy kind of trim on there to kind of make up for the depth shortness. This side, there's some vintage filet lace and some little rosettes and fabric, and a large journal with some a tatting cluster up there, and then another collaged journal here, or a tag here, and they both have vintage laces coming off of them. Lots of place for journaling in here. All the writing paper is coffee stained or tea stained. There's a big collage here, and that opens up for journaling. At the bottom of this mushroom page is a dyed coffee filter that I folded over and then wrapped that around this page. So you're going to see the other half of it on the other half of the signature. Just a collage with a butterfly and a little teeny tiny ledger with just some little scraps of paper inside of it. That tucks in the front of the coffee filter, and then inside the pocket is a tag for journaling. This is an original ledger page from 1869. I just left that as it was so you could see the beautiful handwriting. I reinforced the spine of it with some masking tape. Page from one of my botanical books, Women of Flowers, and I left this open so you can read about one of the women from the 1800s that were botanical illustrators, the Mrs. Maund. And music composition page with some beautiful Venice lace going down the side here. This page here is from a book from 1888. I got this from one of the books in archive.org, and it's all about the language and sentiment of flowers. Back in the day, men and women, or people in general, used to communicate by the types of flowers they would give and send to each other. Every flower had a meaning, and a group of flowers could almost form a sentence. And this tells about that language. And they give some examples. A declaration of feeling between a lady and gentleman may be expressed by a single flower as follows. The gentleman presents a red rose, meaning I love you. The lady admits a partial reciprocation of the sentiment by returning a purple pansy, which means you occupy my thoughts. And it goes on to give some more examples. And then the rest of the page is an alphabetical list of the flowers and what their meaning is. So I thought that was very, very interesting. This is an altered envelope that wraps around the signature, and inside of it is a journaling card. And just a half page. This is a page from a book about a textbook on business forms. And I've been playing around with my die cuts again, trying to find different ways that I can use them in my journals. And I had this lattice type die, and I took it and I put the image of the rose behind it, so it looks like the rose is behind a lattice. This is the name of the rose that was at the bottom of the page. So I like the way that looks. I'll be doing that again. And then this flips open. There's a pocket on the back with some two original cigarette cards. One is of a bird and the other one is of a flower. I just recently purchased a pretty good sized collection of these cards, so I'm going to be offering these coming up in a future video. And these are from the 1930s original cards. This is just a butterfly playing card and then a collaged tag. Those tuck into the pocket, and this is just a tuck spot with some a collage of laces at the top. And coffee stained paper. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's dyed with lace. Page from one of my favorite botanical books. This is a flip up made from a Edith Holden page, and this idea came from Wendy's Journal Adventures. There's a little booklet at the top for journaling, and this glassine envelope has a collage tag. And I've been playing with my laces a lot lately, and I experimented with collaging the background of the tag with all different laces like I do on my covers, and I kind of like how that turned out. And then I put just a couple of fussy cut over it. So I'll probably be making more of those. And whoops, come back out. Some vintage lace here. Another page from one of my botanical books. That's from that textbook on business forms. Dictionary page, and this has a pocket made from, this is actually paper that came out of a Amazon order, the box that it was packed in. And I just made a pocket, and this wraps around to the other side. There's a collage on the front. Okay. And then in it is an original postcard from Eastman Park, Poughkeepsie, New York. I picked this one because it has a pretty garden scene on it. And that one is from 1954. And then just a vintage picture of a horse. On the back side, just some fussy cuts. These butterflies are printed on tracing paper and then fussy cut from a book. Another fussy cut down here. A faux tape measure going along here. This is a flip up. This idea came from Pam at the Paper Outpost. This is my last one. I need to make some more of these. It has vintage laces on the top, and each one flips up. And you can journal. And this bottom one flips up. You can journal there. And then inside the signature is a page from Edith Holden. and the ties have crystals and pearls on them. Tracy Fox label. This is another playing with my die cuts. I initially thought to put this just as it was, but if you tuck something in, it was getting caught on these little openings. So I put a piece of acetate behind it. You can see the shininess. So this is a tuck spot with a collage on the front. You can tuck something in back there. I didn't put anything in because you could see the pretty, still see the image of the book through it. Tall skinny tag here on a embossed vellum pocket. Page from one of my botanical books, and that flips open. This is a large pocket here, one of Redote's flowers. And there's a big tag in there for more journaling. On the back side of this page that I used was another bird, and I didn't want to cover him up, so I left him. And I put a flower here. It looks like he's eating from the flower. So that just tucks in here, and there's a little teeny tiny piece of vintage lace going along the edge there, and more up here. This side is the back side of that packing paper with some vintage Battenberg lace, and I left it open. You can tuck something, I don't have anything, tuck something in there if you want. And in the pocket is a vintage greeting card. It's a Mother's Day card, and you can open it up and journal on the inside of that. I chose this card for my collection because I love the purple flowers that peeking out of the pocket. And then in the collage I put a purple flower, and then on this side I have some purple variegated Venice lace trim, and then more purple flowers here. Some vintage lace going down the page here, vintage crochet lace. Another page from my favorite botanical book. This is a bird book that I have that I made into a pocket. The pages on this book are tall and narrow, and the birds are all at the top, so I took it, flipped it around, made a pocket out of it, and backed the back with some dictionary page and some lace. And in this pocket is a souvenir card from Atlantic City, one of my Tundex cards, and I picked this one because the title is Robins and Roses, to go with the botanical theme. And then another vintage postcard with a pretty floral bouquet on it, and it's embossed. It's from Florence. Don't know who Florence was sending this card to, but it's from Florence. And it looks to be German, maybe. And it tucks in there. Coffee stained paper with stained with lace. Just some leaf trim going up there. Here's the fortune cookie that's in this journal. Inside of that, a little envelope opens up and there's a fortune in there. And then this is the other side of that altered envelope, and the quote reads, "Every day is a present we are given. Every sunrise comes along to shine in our lives, bring us new opportunities, and help us have a better understanding of who we are, who we can be, and what we can achieve." And inside of that is a little journaling card. And it flips over, and this is one of those flippy envelope things. There's a collage on the front with some fabrics and lace and vintage buttons, and it says create. Behind that is another journal card up here. And then that flips open and opens up, and you can journal in here. And then another journaling card there. This idea came from Robin Dudley Howes. She did a tutorial on this. There's the rest of that language of flowers and more of the list of flowers and what they mean. I have a fabric flip here with a couple of pieces, well, 4 different pieces of my vintage laces. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? I love this net lace. This composition. This is a snippet belly band that wraps around both sides of this page. And in this belly band, there's some another abalone button there and some appliques. There is a statement from 1955. These are original pieces of ephemera. This one is some kind of receipt and employee expenses from 1948. And then this is a prescription from 1899. Those are all originals. Tuck into the front side of the belly band. And on the back side is a collaged tag with some laces, a couple of different laces coming off of it. Lace for journaling, that tucks in there. Back side of the ledger, more Venice lace, beautiful Venice lace trim there. Just a little fabric piece with some decorative stitching on it. There's the back side of the mushroom book, then the back side of that coffee filter. And inside of it is another cigarette card and a German vocabulary card. And another butterfly journal card. And this is a page from a new butterfly book that I just got. It's a tall, skinny book, and it has butterflies just like this. So great tag book. And then inside it, there's space for journaling. There's some lace in there peeking out. And in the back pocket, there's some antique lace here, and just a little piece of fabric and a button and a vintage lace, and then a couple of extra pieces of paper for either writing or journaling on or covering up some of the text pages. And the back side has my Handmade By label. So there she is. This one is called Nature. If you're watching this and this journal is still for sale, the purchase information will be down below in the description box. I hope you like it. I had a lot of fun making it. I have several more of these beautiful fabric pieces from that book, so I'll probably be making more similar to this. So that's all I have for now. This weekend will be bodices, wedding dress bodices, so stay tuned for that Saturday at 11 a.m. this week, because there will be a Defy auction. That is the Disabled Artist Foundation auction Saturday, and I believe a couple of my journals will be in that, available in that auction as well, and possibly some of my mixed media pieces that I sent in, that I donated. So stay tuned for that, and that's all for today. Bye for now.